Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how to set boundaries and stop people pleasing. The main reason why I want to make this video is because I want to reach all the other people pleasers out there and tell you that you're not alone. I have struggled with the same thing for a very long time. I have to say that I'm not a therapist. I'm here to just share my experience with you, and tell you what helped me. I do have a therapist though, and I feel like it's probably one of the best things that I have ever done for my mental health, because I'm a people pleaser and I used to be even a worse people pleaser in the past. I completely understand what's it like being one. Usually when you're a people pleaser, it's very hard for you to say no, and you say yes because of guilt or obligation. You feel like you have to say yes, or you feel like if you say no, you're gonna feel guilty. So that's why you say yes. And usually because of that, as people pleasers, we feel like the way people respond to what we tell them is our responsibility. If, for example, we say no to someone and they get mad, we are at fault. And here we go to one important takeaway that I learned. The way people respond, the way people react is not your responsibility. It's their responsibility. You're only responsible for your words and your actions. If you say no to someone and then they get super mad and angry, it's not your responsibility. But I know how hard it is for people pleasers to actually come to terms with it, to truly understand it. And it takes practice. You don't have to fix everything. That's also something that used to happen to me in the past. Sometimes I still struggle with it. If I say something and maybe this person doesn't like it and they get upset, I feel like I have to fix everything immediately. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? I take my words back, please don't be sad. But no, sometimes it's okay to let other people be sad. Obviously here I'm talking about good communication. It doesn't mean that you have to shout at other people and be mean to other people and feel like, oh, whatever, I don't care. It's all about protecting your own personal boundaries, right? That's the problem. The problem is people pleasers don't know how to protect their own personal boundaries. They feel like if they start protecting them, they're gonna hurt other people and then they're gonna want to fix the situation. But no, take a step back. People pleasers are usually very in tune with other people's emotions, and that's actually one of the reasons why we sometimes feel like we want to fix everything. We want to fix the situation because we can see that the person is upset. We can feel it. And that's why oftentimes people pleasers try to actually anticipate another person's response. And because of that, they might change their behavior, they might change what they're about to say. So oftentimes you prefer not to actually talk about this thing if you know that this is something that's gonna make another person upset. But that's exactly how people pleasers end up in extremely unhappy relationships, because first of all, they don't protect their personal boundaries and they always try to make another person happy. And their happiness depends on this other person's happiness. If their partner is happy, they're happy. If they try to bring something up and see that their partner gets upset, they withdraw, because as a people pleaser, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to make the situation worse. They want to make sure their partner is happy and everything is okay. And if we go even deeper, people pleasers don't like making other people upset because they don't like how they feel when other people are upset. Because again, people pleasers are very in tune with other people's emotions and feelings. Of course, to really unpack each person's situation, you have to talk about it with your therapist. It might be connected to some traumas that happen in your life, like why your happiness or your feelings are so dependent on another person's feelings or their happiness. Because usually if in your experience in the past, for example, you upset someone, but then you talked about it, you made up and everything was good, then your brain started to learn that it's okay that other people are sad and upset, and usually you don't have to do anything about it. Just leave them alone, give them time and give them space. But unfortunately for people pleasers, something in this chain of events broke. And that's why for them it's so hard to just leave other people alone, leave them be sad and just move on, move on with your day, move on with your life, and let those people work on their emotions by themselves. Now I wanted to go through these two situations with you guys that are very connected to our lives and something that maybe you experienced in the past as a person for whom it's hard to set boundaries and not be a people pleaser. The first situation is the following. Imagine you are an introvert and you don't really like going out, you prefer to stay in on Friday nights, but your partner does like to go out. Your partner likes to go out, they like to go party every Friday, meet up with their friends, drink, have fun, whatever, come back home super late. And imagine they come up to you and they ask you, oh, do you want to go with me? And here is where the battle begins, right? So obviously you kind of want to say no, because deep inside you know that it's not something you like, it's not really your cup of tea, but at the same time all of those like fears and concerns, they start rushing it. You start thinking, oh my god, what if I say no, my partner is gonna stop loving me, they're gonna find a different person, blah 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 blah. And here is where this communication with your partner comes in, and also how good of a relationship you guys have, because if you don't have a very good relationship with your partner, if one person is abusive, they don't respect your boundaries, then obviously nothing good is gonna get out of this whole situation. But in reality, deep inside, we all have this little child who is worried about a situation that is just, nothing to worry about. But we need someone to come in and console us and tell us that it's all good. I'm still gonna love you if you don't go to the party with me. We kind of need this reassurance. And that's actually why in some of the books on relationships, people say that relationships, like romantic relationships we build for ourselves, can be very healing if we find the right person. Of course, your partner can help you a lot, and choosing the right person is important. But at the end of the day, you as a people pleaser, you also have to work on your ability to say no. If your partner comes up to you and invites you to go to a party with them, you don't have to just like wait for them to start this whole dialogue with you and say how much they love you. You also have to train this ability to just say no. And that's it. And we're going to talk about how you can train your ability to say no after the second situation. So the second situation is this like friend to friend conversation. Imagine you're sitting at home, kind of working, but not really doing much, and you get a text from your friend, and your friend is asking you, oh, can you like come over and help me build a table? I got a new table or like a new chair, whatever. The reason why this friend is texting you is because they know that you have all the right tools to build a table. But the problem here is that you kind of know that you don't really have a very good relationship with this person. Like, this person is not truly your friend, maybe in the past there were some situations that were kind of weird. Basically, you have this like weird dynamic. And as a people pleaser, that's so freaking hard. Obviously, if you know this is a great person, you have a great friendship, like why not? You can just say yes and help them and everything is gonna be okay. But the problem starts when you don't really have a great friendship with this person and they're asking for help, and you really want to say no. Like, you can feel it in your gut. Your gut feeling is screaming, like it's telling you, say no, say no, say no, say no. But then you start thinking, oh my god, if I say no, I'm a terrible person, I'm a terrible friend. But then you start thinking, but we're not really friends, so what should you do? Usually one of the strategies that people pleasers implement is not texting this person, just ignoring this person, because you don't have to kind of say yes and you don't have to say no. But the problem is, what if this person calls you, right? Okay, you just don't pick up. But again, you're not really like teaching yourself anything. You're not training this ability to set clear boundaries. You're just kind of ignoring the problem, brushing it under the rug, pretending it doesn't exist and everything is fine. Because saying this hard and clear no is difficult. I completely get it. And here is where this cool thing that I learned recently comes in. It's called the dime game, and it's used in the dialectical behavior therapy. It's something that I discovered recently, and honestly, like when I first started like researching more and more things about it, I was like, wait, I have to try. And to be honest, I have tried using the things that this dive game talks about, and I really felt like more confident. a lot more confident. But again, guys, I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not a therapist. If you have a therapist, please, if you want to, go ahead and talk to them about this game. So the damn game works if, for example, you have problems asking people for something. That's the first thing. And the second thing, if you have difficulty saying no to people. So establishing clear boundaries with people. Let's go real quick through the questions you could ask yourself if you're struggling to say no to people. But I also want you to know that everything that comes down to like non-consensual things, like non-consensual behavior, these questions are not great for it, because in those moments your answer should be no. So the first question you could ask yourself is, can I give this person what is wanted? If the answer is yes, this means 0 points. If the answer is no, this gives you 1 dime. And then we have this amazing table, like, you know, make sure to save all of this information. I'm gonna save all the links below in the description so you can check it out later. So can I give this person what is wanted? Well, for my situation, the answer was yes, I can. It's possible for me. Is my relationship more important than saying no? You know, it's not your best friend. You already have like a great relationship with this person, and now they're asking you to help them fix a table, so probably no. Will saying no make me feel bad about myself? As a people pleaser, you're probably gonna say yes. And it's okay if you say yes. Obviously, there are things you can work on with your therapist, but let's continue. Am I required by law or moral code to give or do what is wanted? Or does saying no violate this person's rights? The answer is no. Is this person responsible for telling me what to do? No. Is what the person is requesting of me appropriate to my relationship with this person? Well, because you're not really like super close friends, I would say no. In the long term, will I regret saying no? In the long term, that is very important, because people pleasers often struggle with short term. So in the long term, the answer is no. Do I owe this person a favor? So maybe this person did something for us in the past, but for my situation, let's say no. Do I know what I'm saying no to? Is it clear? Yes, it's pretty clear. So the answer is yes, I know what I'm saying no to. Should I wait a while before saying no? Well, here, probably let's say no. There's no reason for you to wait, because you already know that you kind of want to say no. So now let's calculate how many times we said no here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 no's. So we basically have 70 cents. So now we open up this table and we look at saying no, and 70 cents equals to say no confidently. Resist saying yes. That's it. This is basically how it works, and you can do the same exercise. Damn it. I had to change my battery pack right now, so maybe the camera angle is a little bit different now. But basically, that's it. That's the gist of this damn game. The reason why I decided to talk about this game in this video is because it's something that's helping me. It's helping me right now say no more confidently to the things that I know I want to say no to. And also the other version of this game for asking questions with other questions and like other scoring system also helps me ask questions. Sometimes, like as a people pleaser, when you know you want to ask a person a specific question, maybe they're going to be a little bit upset, you withdraw, like you don't ask this question. So it helps me. At the end of the day, I encourage everyone to, you know, read good books on this topic, talk to knowledgeable people. If you can't, go and get a therapist and talk about like all your problems and concerns. Again, the point of this video was to make you feel less alone. There are a lot of people who struggle with this problem, and I don't want you to think that everyone has got everything together, because unfortunately right now on social media, that's kind of the perception we have. We open Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we see all of those confident, successful people, and sometimes we feel like, oh my god, my life is So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video up until the very end. I'm really grateful for all your comments and likes and positive support. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video.